Fusion strong, like I said, the kettlebell is right there. We're gonna soften into the knees, not a full squat, just soften the knees. And we're going to shift the weight, left to right. Right away activating through this grounding motion, our feet, left to right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and right foot stays, left foot steps in and out. You can make it small, take it wider, drop it into a little mini squat, but save some energy. We've got some more legs coming. This is just to wake our metabolism up, to wake our system up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and step switch. Left foot stays, right leg moves. Make it small, take it wider, take it for that little extra mini squat. Step it in and out. If you need to slow down the pace, that's okay. We're almost there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in, march. That kind of gets our heart rate up right away, doesn't it? Just a little march. Now get those knees a little higher and point the toes. I jokingly call this the pony prance march. I'm pulling it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, right foot stays, left toes, pony prance it forward, side, forward, side, forward, side. Best not to do this one too fast, and you can keep it low. You can just do a nice step if you need to. But the idea is you're peeling your foot off the floor. 4, 3, 2, and step switch. Front, side. Think about this pony prance march where you're peeling your foot off the floor and back on. Knees go as high as you want. Just trying to stay stable. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. So now we're going to work with the tops of our feet. Take the right foot, flex the foot, point the foot, get on top of the foot, little pulse. And then drop a little into this squat and just tap the foot. Don't smack the floor. Don't try to kick the floor. The floor will win. But just tapping the top of the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rise up. Now before we switch legs, take that right leg forward. Drop into the heel. Shift the hips back. Little rock. Pulling through the hips, creating a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Shifting your weight. And of course that left leg is getting tired. Well, mine is. Because it's taking all the weight. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we switch. Left foot. Point the toes. Bend into the right knee. Put a little bit of weight. And we pulse. Just a little pulse. Now stay low, tap. Don't kick the floor, just tap it. Get the top of your foot used to feeling something. 5, 4, 3, 2, rise up. Take that left heel forward, anchor the heel in, shift your weight back. Woo! Sometimes balance is easier on one side than the other. And now it's the right leg getting tired. 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. How are those legs? They're kind of warm already, right? Well, mine are. Good news, we get to wiggle it out a little. Just a little wiggle twist, left to right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I want us to really focus on the feet doing this movement. I know the other body parts are going to go, but how do your feet really move the movement? And we're shifting the weight left to right. So going all the way onto the outside edge of my right foot, inside edge of my left, and I rock. Focus on the feet. The knees are going to go. The hips are going to go. But let the feet be the driver. Left to right, left to right. Nope. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and heel stomp. Bring it forward. Now you can make this small or start to add a little wide step, bringing it across. Notice what's happening in your hips, especially if you're going for the across movement. Not that there's anything wrong with your hips, but just notice what's happening here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now just for fun, kick your bum. Fun bum kicks. Trust me, it's more fun when you do it to yourself versus someone else doing it to you, okay? Heel to bum, heel to bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and heels in, toes out. Little lean and stomp. So now we're adding a little bit external rotation through your hips. Left to right. Heeling it in and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Body's hopefully already warm. We're just going to do one more thing before we start adding some weights. It's our heel march with a little hip movement. So it's heel, heel, bump, heel, hip. Now singles. Have a little fun if you want. Do something funky, silly, weird with your arms. Just don't get too funky because, you might fall over. 5, 4, whoop, 3, 2, and now right foot stays, left leg, it's gonna go for a side kick and then across. Option 1, step, bring it in. Cross, step, side, straightforward. Now, option 2, it's kick, cross, but the knee comes up, not the foot down, the knee comes up. Kick, across. Bring it across and kick it up. Hands do whatever they need to support balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Give yourself a little well-deserved booty shake before we switch sides. Now, left leg stays. Option 1, step, tap, step, and across. Option 2, little kick, bring it in. And if you're keeping it low, you can sway it. Otherwise, it's kick high, kick, bring it across. Kick it up, knee across. If you're keeping it low, you could just swing it if you want. But to get that little extra oomph in between, having the toes touch the ground is really helpful. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Give yourself another little shake. You might find that we're doing a lot of shakes in between our exercises today. And this idea of shaking is actually got a long story. I won't give you the lecture or the workshop series. Just trust me, shaking our bodies in a really silly, ridiculous way is kind of good for us. Now, grab your dumbbells, your smaller hand weights. Mine are 3 kilos. You don't have to go that high, or if you want to go higher, have fun. So let's start side bend, bringing the feet close together, just a little movement. Don't go too far, focusing on staying in a lateral side bend here, a lateral bend. Inhale, exhale. We're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back. One more each side. Last one. Now it's lock and load, and we twist. Don't go too fast, but it's a lock and load straight arm twist. Using the obliques, soften the knees if you need to. And when I say if you need to, it just sounds very kind of like, oh, well, if you have, no, it's listen to your body, pay attention to your body. I'm just the guide, your body's the teacher. 5, 4, 3, 2, now bicep curl it up and down. And when I say bicep curl, we're going to go for hammers. That means the knuckles stay forward, not palms up. Stay tall through the spine. And you can take it slow or find a rhythm where your biceps don't really get a break. If I drop my arms, my biceps are taking a break. Then I have to activate them. This way, they don't get a break at all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax the arms, but don't let go of the weights. When I say relax, please make sure you don't relax the hands, because if you drop your weights on your feet, I don't want to be held accountable for that. So take the arms out to the side. Not all the way up, but to the side where they have to work. They have to keep the weight here. We're going to twist through the ribs, but not the hips, just the ribs. And then see if you can smooth out some of the edges. Don't worry about how far you actually twist. Just keep the hips pointed forward. Just a twist, going left to right. 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. This time, it's a hammer bicep curl with an extension. Sometimes if you've been with me for a little while, because you might have, it's hammer halfway, but just enough to come up and to the side, bring it back down. So I'll come in closer, just so you can see it's up halfway, palms come up, out to the side with elbows tucked in, bring it back down. Palms up and out. And you can modify the different weights for the different arm exercises if you've got options. I've got a pair of 2-pound dumbbells over there if I want to go a little lower weight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, but again, don't drop those weights. We're going to bring our heels a little closer together with our feet a little further apart. Not all the way out, but just a little angle. When you look down, you can see the letter V. Exhale, lift up through the heels just enough that you feel stable, but you're not using the heels. So it's only like a 1/2 inch or 2 inches, between 1/2 inch and 2 inches. And from here, have to realign again. We're going to side bend. Inhale and exhale it up. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you don't hike up the shoulders, and check that you're not using the hips, just the side bend. Even if it means you can't go lower, I'd rather the movement be smaller and keeping your hips super stable. Keep squeezing those inner thighs and the glutes. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you've got space to take both weights into one hand, please do so. I don't. It's actually a really wide grip on these dumbbells. So just to double up the weight, we're going to inhale to the right and exhale it up. Feet are flat, knees are soft without going for a squat. But now we add the layer where we reach up and over. Inhale down, exhale, push it up and across. Now when we do this, remember that whole idea of staying stuck between two panes of glass? That still applies with this movement. Inhale, exhale, up and over. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we switch sides. And after this, we're going for the big boy, yes? The kettlebell? So, hand at the side, left hand down, right hand to your head, or to your belly, or your shoulder. Pick a place for the hand to go. We're only doing a few of these before we take it to the next level, but you can always stay here. The goal is not to let that right shoulder push up into the ear. Keep it down and away, and don't let the hips move. Keep those hips locked. Now let's add the layer where we reach up and over. Inhale, exhale, punch it up and over. Now the goal is to not just get the weight over your head, but over to the right shoulder or past it. Inhale and exhale. I like to use my free hand to just support my body against my thigh. Almost there. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Whew. So from here, grab your kettlebell. We're staying with the upper body and working our way down. So hold the kettlebell in front, just a little tilt so that you're not banging your belly, or in my case, my boobs. That little tilt so you've got space. Just up to chest. Don't hike it up, and don't let the shoulders hike up. Keep the shoulders down. And it's only a small lean forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Over to the right. More side bends, but my favorites, I love these, so you might have to do them a lot over the next foreseeable future. Right knee bends, right heel lifts, and we lean in and we exhale it up. Now, make sure it's still a side bend, not a forward lean, and we're not tilting the hips. Inhale and exhale it up. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We release and we switch. Left leg. And your toes are in line with each other. You're just bending the knee and lifting up the heel. Nice and tall. Don't let that opposite shoulder hike up. Inhale and exhale it up. Inhale and exhale up. Each time you exhale, the abdominals can kind of give you that little extra oomph to bring you back up. Because you're not wanting to hike up with the arm. The arm is not doing the work. That being said, don't relax too much with the arm. Don't drop the kettlebell. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now, step it a little wider. Bring both hands together onto the kettlebell. We're not doing the traditional kettlebell swings. We will get to that. But right now, I just want you to tilt the hips back and come up. It's literally just a tilt. Squeeze the glutes and up. Squeeze the glutes. Just a little tilt. We're not going super low. But see if the next time you go down, you can go a little further. And then a little further. And a little further. Until your hamstrings say, that's enough, mama, stop it. So this is just getting us into a deadlift type mode. You don't need to lock those knees out. You can soften the knees. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So far, so good. Now we go for the swings. That means our legs come a little bit closer together, but still enough space for the kettlebell to actually fit through. Please don't stand like this because you're going to really hurt your kneecaps or your shins. I may be speaking from experience on that one. So, nice and tall. We're going to swing between the legs, and don't make the first one too big. Just kind of get a little momentum going. Again, flat back, flat spine. Don't arch the back. You can squat it lower. You can take the arms higher. Now, if you're feeling a lot of this in your lower back, it's kind of your body's way of saying, hey, I need you to brace a little more with the belly, the core muscles in the front. Catch it in. So think about, I'm going to exaggerate for a moment, just going, you do not need to make that noise unless you feel really inspired to do so. We could do these all day. They're super easy, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, hold the kettlebell, as they say, by the horns, which is at the top here. Elbows a little out, right leg steps, and we're gonna pulse into this side lunge. You don't have to go super low. Don't let the kettlebell rest on your chest, don't lean back. And 4, 3, 2, 1, step. Don't drop the weight, switch. Just a little side lunge, staying tall. Don't arch into your lower back. Make sure the knee feels good in the direction it's going and don't overextend it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and step it in. So this is where we're not going to take the arm up overhead, but we are going to take the weight to our shoulder. So I give it a little swing, and then oof, it's a little slippery. I rest it on my forearms, so I'm just going to come in close so you can see it's here. And I can use my other hand to support. So this is where we're keeping. It's just resting on the forearm and part of my shoulder. So it's got the support of both parts of my arms. So whatever side the weight is on, that is the leg we stay on. Right foot, come down into a little curtsy lunge, step back. Curtsy lunge, step. And the goal is to keep that holding elbow close to shoulder height. Don't let it droop down. This is going to be really challenging for the joints. Step, curtsy lunge, step, curtsy back. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Resting it. It's basically resting between your bicep and your forearm. Bring it in. Step with the left and back. Don't worry about how low your curtsy lunge is. Focusing on shifting your body weight with the extra lever of the kettlebell. Step it back and across. Step it back and across. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Drop it to the ground for just a moment. Give your arms a little bit of shake. If you're not used to doing that movement, it can really, like your body feels it. And of course, I just needed to fix my pants. So I just gave you an excuse to do something so I could fix my pants. Because yeah, that's me. So now, the goal here is not to let the weight drop to the ground, unless that's your starting point. So, nice wide stance. You're gonna pull up with one arm, release and switch. I'll show you option 1, which is weight on the ground. I just lean forward, pull back, and drop. Switch. And I'm gonna show you side view, just a flat back. You can drop more into the legs if you want. But now, where I want the challenge is you don't let the weight touch the ground. Now watch carefully. I lean and I kind of throw it into my waiting hand. I'll come a little closer in case it's here. So I'm literally just sliding hand in and dropping. Sliding it in and dropping. Kind of gets heavy, doesn't it? I find taking the other hand to the side helps my balance, but you could, if you're nervous, just, you don't want to drop your kettlebell on the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rise up. Oh, how are we doing? Are we ready to drop the kettlebell? No, we got a little more to go. We got a little more to go. And if you do drop it, please don't drop it on your toes. I love the single leg deadlift idea. So, right leg steps back. Not a big lunge, just a natural step back. And I'm making sure that I have a little bit of give in that back foot. Both hands can hold the weight. Now I tilt my hips towards that bent leg. And exhale, squeeze up. Both legs have to work. Now, there is a harder option, and I won't be able to look at the screen for this one. It's leaning and letting that back leg kick up. So you have an option 1. And of course, option 1 would be without the weight. Option 2 with the weight. Option 3, kick it back. But keep those hips parallel. Keep your gaze forward so that you're focusing on balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step, switch, because you got 2 legs. You got 2 legs. So, sorry, we got one more side to go. So, option 1, no weight. Option 2, with the weight, step it back, lean. Now, when I lean, I am not moving my hip to the side. I'm going straight forward and back. Keeping your spine aligned. Don't worry about how low you go. Don't round the back. Option 3 is with a kick. Now, my hips really want to open to the side, so this one's really harder for me, not because of the weight, but because of how my body naturally wants to modify this movement. So I tend to like the single leg. The news is we're almost done here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Bring it up. Hold that kettlebell by the horns. Heels in, toes out. Without arching your back, just drop the hips down. Get as low as you can. Without resting your kettlebell on your chest. I'm down low enough that my elbows are touching my knees, which is okay. But we're not staying here long. 3, 2, and release the weight down and just make your way to the floor. It can be a clumsy making your way to the floor. I don't judge. So grabbing your smaller weights, I've shifted to my 2-pound dumbbells because I find this movement is a little much for my 3 kilograms, but I'll work on my way up to it. So classical saw, borrowed from Pilates. The movement without the weight, fingertips nice and long, shoulder blades down. Right hand will reach towards the left toes while the left arm scoops down and under, reaching back. You can make this small with just a little reach and twist, or go for it. Inhale and exhale across. And of course, where you get the challenge is by putting weights in your arms, in your hand, not in your arms, in your hands. Not sure how your arms hold it. It's your hands that hold them, right? Bring it across and back up. You don't have to touch your toes. Just get that twist through the entire range of spine that you've got to the crown of your head. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in and down. I'm just going to move my kettlebell to the side because I put it in the wrong spot for what we're doing next. Now, if you have the dumbbells, the Pilates balls, this is super easy. If you've got dumbbells, just be mindful of where the weight is on your feet. So we're going to bend the knees, flex the feet, and I'm just going to let my ball rest in that little dip between my toes and my shins. So if you've got a dumbbell, you might want to lay it across or hold it lengthwise in between the ankles. You decide. We're going to lean back and lift the feet just a few inches off the ground. I'm going to shift angles so you can see. Now when we lean back, don't droop in. Proud chest. Using the exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release the legs long. Now, put as much weight as you can handle down by your ankles because this is going to make this movement easier. No weight will make it harder, just to be clear. Nice and tall, little lean back. Reach back with the left arm and right. Left, right. And if your core is just saying, oh, hell no, just tall and reach. Make this more about a therapeutic spinal twist, or add the core. The goal would be that you could reach back enough to fingertips gently touch the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, gonna take that ball off to the side. We're gonna come onto hands and knees. So, having worked the front of the body along with the hip flex, we want to create a little bit of an extension. Take the left leg back. First, a well-deserved little calf stretch. And you might be thinking, oh, it's the end of the class. No, not quite yet. But I'm giving you this not just for the calf stretch, but to check in. Can you push the floor away without rounding the spine? Flat back versus buckling the shoulders. Push the floor away. Then really anchor into those back toes, the back ball of the foot. Exhale, float the right knee up and pulse it in. 3, 2, 1, and take the left toes and right toes both back. Bring the left knee in and down. Right leg calf stretch. And don't just slouch. Really focus on form, extension through the spine from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. Anchor into that back foot. Back heel driving back as far as you can. I said back a lot. Exhale, float the left knee and pulse it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and take the toes back, release the knees. Come onto your forearms. We are going for our core challenge, our plank challenge. So, what is a plank challenge? Well, we stay here for about, well, I won't tell you how long, but stay with me as long as you can in some type of a plank shape. If you're on your knees and your forearms, don't buckle the shoulders or drop the belly or shift the hips back. This is really not a plank. You can add a little extra oomph by pulling your elbows towards your knees, a little isometric contraction, or take those toes back, come onto your toes and your forearms. But if you do this, don't pike up into your hips and don't dip too low where you're arching your back. Stay in your plank. Find anything. I love to find movement, shifting my weight forward and back, or little hip wiggles, anything to distract me from how long I'm staying here. I even drop back onto my knees. Then I find my weight under my hands and go into a full plank, and I even walk the plank. Maybe it's a side plank. Find whatever variation you can tap into to keep you in plank for as long as possible. Keep breathing, stay with me just a little longer. Just a little more. 3, 2, and drop the knees, come onto your belly. Oh, breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe you got a little pukey, barfy like I do with plank. I really get a little barfy, or burpee. I get burpee. Bend down into your chest. Bring your heart close to the ground. Bend the knees and just kick them left to right. As you're doing this, check that you're not pushing into your glutes or your lower back. Now both toes up, sway them left to right, left to right. Keep the big toes touching something on the other leg. Keep that closer connection for 4, 3, 2, and bring it in, big toes touch. Take the knees a little wider, hands underneath the shoulders, push up and over, child's pose. Known as a shell stretch in Pilates. The goal here is to kind of work through the hips and your spine. I like to sway and dance here to kind of let my body kind of ripple out any tension. I even go up and down. I might even say hi underneath my armpit and say hello. And press into your palms, wave your spine all the way up. Bring those knees underneath the hips back into a table. And let's move the spine in a spiral wave. And essentially any way that feels good for you. Forward, around, and back. And 3, and 2. Pause through to neutral. Tuck your toes, lift up the hips. And just enough to take the right leg back, up, and swing it through, dropping down into a pigeon pose. If this is not accessible, you can come onto your back and drop the right ankle on top of the left knee. But let's just stay here and play. Sway it, swing it, maybe take it lower, maybe not. Listen to your body. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the back of your neck. Now to come out of this one, we're going to lift up and shift your weight onto the right bum cheek and just keep rolling, opening out with your right heel towards groin, left leg to the side. Give yourself a wiggle, any wiggle. Any wiggle, don't worry about which one it is. I like the leg wiggle, but I also like a little shoulder wiggle. And then add a little dance. Go on to the side and back up. And let's bring it in and we switch legs. Bringing the left heel in, right leg to the side. Again, wiggle, shake. I really love the feel of my thigh wiggling in my hip joint. There needs to be a hashtag for that. It feels really good in my body. And then add the dance, swaying side to side and back up. And don't worry about if you touch those toes or not. The goal is just to stay connected to your body, to your thigh. Give yourself a little massage, because trust me, you deserve it. You put up with me for what, like 45 minutes? And now this is where it gets tricky, because we want to do the pigeon pose on the left. So I'm going to bring my left foot a little bit more forward so that I can rotate. So it's this roll over and finding myself in pigeon pose with my left knee in front, right leg behind. And same thing goes on this side. You can sway it, you can dance it, you can take it low. Sometimes taking it low makes you say, oh no, and you come back up. But really, start to find the groove in your move. And when I say your move, remember, I'm the guide. Your body's the teacher. And we're not going to go back into a downward dog, but we are just going to let our hips drop down to the left again and pull the right foot in and towards the left, coming into a cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana, rocking a little side to side. Nice little sway, side to side. And then forward fold and get low. Or in some days, like mine right now, my body says, you can't go as low as you normally do, lady. Just ease off. So listen to when your body has those changes. Exhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time and bring those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Round through the spine. Play with the toes, wiggle the toes, get silly with the toes. When I say play with the toes, I don't mean with your hands. Just wiggle the toes, iggly piggly wiggly stuff. And take the legs nice and long. Walk a little on your bum. And can you guess? You survived. Fusion Strong is all done. High-fiving you.